Hello everyone and welcome back to the penultimate episode in the Career Mode Player Prediction series. Today we have left mids and left wings and right mids and right wings. EA released the official database of their potentials, however my predictions are a bit off, some are accurate, some aren't, and I'll tell you the actual predictions. However, when it comes to the database, the ratings never normally seem to be the same anyway. I've had players go above their potential than what EA says, so it's irrelevant I guess. The first three that we're going to take a look at is the same as normal. We take a look at the top highest rated left wingers and left mids on the game currently as their base rating. Hazard, Neymar and Sterling all have good ratings as they are. Hazard's potential is 91 plus, Neymar's is 93 and Sterling is set to reach a rating of 88 supposedly. I'm sure you're all well aware that these three are going to cost a fortune, especially you won't be able to get Sterling in the first season due to his move to City. However, if you start with one of these clubs, then good for you, but you may take a couple of seasons to be able to afford them. Moving on, we have Van Gaal's baby. The Fire managed to make a big money move to United this summer. At 81 and 21 years of age, he's a good player to have in your team. He managed to get the top scorer in the Dutch league, so his potential is set to reach 89, but anything can happen and it may even go higher if you use him. Another player that's been around for a while in FIFA to have high potential, Julian Draxler slowed down a bit recently in terms of his base rating, but nonetheless he's still a very good card to have. Another player that's made a big money move to Wolfsburg from Schalke, so you won't be able to get him in the first season, but definitely look at getting him in the second season. Next on the list we have Felipe Anderson. Felipe Anderson made a name for himself last year for Lazio. His potential is set to reach 87. But again, I think he's the type of player that if you use him a lot, he can reach higher than 87. But if you don't, you won't get much luck. I think he's a player that only grows if you use him. Another player that I think he'll be the cheaper of the left mids, but definitely worth taking a look at to try and get. Up next, yet another player that managed to make a big move to Electro. Ferrara Carrasco made a good start for Monaco and managed to get a couple of goals both in Champions League and the league. The 21-year-old Belgian looks a promising talent, yet again from the Belgians. 78 rating's not the best out of these midfielders, but it's nonetheless a good solid start for any mid-league. Well, I say mid-league, Atletico are a good team, so it's worth having him in any team to be honest, and with a potential of 84 plus, you can't go wrong. Up next we have Moi Gomez. Moi Gomez probably isn't the highest name on the radar, but still a young, solid player. Same rating as Ferrara Carrasco, he's a good Spaniard. Solid stats to have as a creative player, and I think he'll be relatively cheap to get coming from a lower league team in the Liga BBVA. EA have said he's set to grow to an 85, but I put 84 plus, but I definitely think he can reach higher than 85 if you use him well enough. And then next up we have another young lad that I really like to look at. The 20-year-old Samu Castillejo from Villarreal looks another promising young lad to get in your team. 77 rating makes him a good winger to have in your team. If you're one of the top league teams then maybe not, but I think he will grow to be one of your better wingers if you have. EA again have set him to grow to an 85, but at 20-year-old, if you go up one a season, by the time he's 30, 87, I'm not quite sure how EA work out their potentials, but most players seem to go up at least one or two a season when you play, so we'll find out. And then another personal favourite of mine from Leverkusen, Julian Brandt, 19 years of age. 19-year-old at 74 rating is really good for him, it's good for the lad. So he's got some good stats on him there with his dribbling. So EA have set him to grow to an 88. 88 rated for the young lad. He's definitely going to be worth getting straight away. You might as well get him, otherwise he will become expensive. He looks like he's going to be a great player to get in your team. Now we're going to move on to the right sided players, and the first three we're going to take a look at are the three highest right midfielders and right wingers on the game as their base rating for 25-year-olds and under. We start off with Lucas, who's set to have a potential of 85. Then Costa is also set to have a potential of 85, and Volland, another young player that I really like from Hoffenheim, so he'll be relatively cheap to get hold of. He has a potential of 85 as well. So that's all 3 players, 85. And up next we have another player that's set to reach a potential of 85, and that's Berardi of Sassuolo. Berardi is a very talented youngster, and I believe he's got some kind of clause with Juventus that they can buy him back, but he'll definitely be one that's on the scenes for Italy in the future. The 21-year-old has good solid dribbling stats and shooting stats, so worth getting in any team to start off with, and his potential is set to 85 like I said, so you can't go wrong there, but I can definitely see him reaching more than 85, because if you use 10 seasons, I can't see him only going up 5 stats in 10 seasons. Would you believe it, we have another player that's set to reach a potential of 85 according to EA. The Ox, the mighty man himself for England, but he's a good player to get, but it might cost a bit to get from Arsenal, but he depends. I think there's better midfielders you can get at the right wing position on this game, but it depends what you like. But still going to be a very solid player for the future, so you can't really go wrong with solid players when they're in the future. And up next we have a youngster from Ajax that's Dutch again. Well done Ajax and well done Netherlands. El Ghazi. The 20-year-old has a rating of 76. Although for a 20-year-old not the best rating on the list that we've seen today, he is still a very solid player to have, and he'll be a very skillful player. He is set to reach potential of 85 as well. I promise I didn't do that on purpose, but it's EA for you. But I reckon he'll be relatively cheap to get a hold of straight away, so he might be worth getting straight away rather than waiting until he goes up, because players tend to go up quicker when they play for you rather than other teams sometimes. And then the final player on the list is Nathan Redmond. EA have said that Redmond should have a potential of 82, but I'm going to disagree with that, as on FIFA 15 I managed to get him up to an 88, and this is where I'm a bit confused at how they get their potentials from, because on the database for FIFA 15 he didn't have an 88 potential, but who knows. Well done EA. But definitely worth getting if you're a lower league side, especially if you're a lower league Prem side, as Norwich just got promoted, so why not take him away from Norwich? Even if you're from a foreign league, it's worth getting him. But that's all the players on the list, guys. We've covered quite a few left and right sided players, but definitely worth getting all of them if you can and trying them out, testing their potential and seeing if you can break the limits that you have set apparently, but I think you will be. Thank you for watching. If you want to check out central midfielders, then click on the box that you can see now, but I'll leave a link in the description so you can check out all the previous players as well, so that's goalkeepers, centre backs and full backs. But again, thank you for watching. If you did like it, then please like it and subscribe, it would mean a lot. I've got a couple more series on the way, so it's worth checking them out. They'll be coming out within the next week when FIFA comes out. And that's all, guys, so have a good day.